Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Battle Breakers episode. That is right, we're coming back with another video today, and today we're talking about the top 10 beginner tips you need to know to make sure you get the most out of the Battle Breakers experience. And if you want to try it yourself, there's a link down below. Feel free to click on it and use the supported creator code Arnold. It does support the channel, and I want to thank Epic Games for sponsoring this episode today as well, and my never-ending goal of trying to knock down student debt of law school. Man, that stuff's expensive, let me tell you. So let's just hop into it and tell you what you want to know about Battle Breakers. Now, in the car in the top right-hand corner, I've already given you an overview on what this Hero Collector game is all about. So if you want an overview, feel free to check that out. Today, we're just going straight into the tips on how to make sure you're getting the most experience out of this game. Tip number one. This may seem very basic, but honestly, it's kind of hidden, and you're not probably going to find unless you go out of your way to look for it. If you're trying to find basically the whole entire guide on how to play this game, click on your settings, and there's going to be an instructions tab right here, nice and bright yellow. It literally has everything you need to know. What are you doing? What's the game about? Hero skills. What do basic abilities mean? Special abilities mean? What do skill levels do? Hero upgrades, special actions. What do the buildings mean? The perks, the damage levels. Literally everything you want to know is going to be here. So you probably, if you have the time, feel free to read this. I'm going to kind of give you a lot of the tips there. Some of them are in here. If you want to be one of those people that kind of really goes in depth, reading this is a great start. So that's kind of the biggest tip I think on our list today is read this. Tip number two is going to be upgrading your buildings. Now you have several buildings in this game, but really the most important one is not going to be the secret shop, not so much the ancient factory, not so much the marketplace, but your headquarters. You're going to want to level up all this stuff as you go along, and basically once you hit certain level thresholds, you're able to upgrade it to the next level. And the reason why the headquarters is the most important thing is because eventually your characters get capped at a level, and the only way to increase your level cap is by upgrading your headquarters. When you upgrade the level of your headquarters, you can upgrade the level of your characters and therefore get some more damage out there, survivability, all that fun stuff to tackling these missions to be a lot easier. As you see right here, I have to wait till level 60 to get to the next threshold, and yeah, they do require some gems, but really this game gives out so many free-to-play gems that really gems are not a problem in this game. So you should be able to upgrade these very easily once you hit the level threshold. Now this button down here kind of gets neglected, I feel sometimes. This is going to be the most important area, I think, for getting your characters free to play, and as well as kind of getting materials free to play. And let's talk about getting characters free to play. So do not ignore quests, because the first thing is getting a lot of great characters free to play. You're going to get these hero core traces up here, and once you get enough, you'll see that you have an opportunity to scan for heroes looking to be rescued. And right here I got a couple of them. Each hero has a different element type. They all have different types of kits, and you know, not every single character is gonna be great. And I'll explain how you find out which characters are great in the end. So you want to make sure you use this, because sometimes you're gonna have an opportunity to get a lot of great characters. And I'm gonna go ahead and unlock this character mainly because I'm looking for a healing character. So this character should be kind of helpful in that regard. Not saying this is an amazing character overall, but I'm just finding myself needing some healing characters for certain missions that we're tackling. So here's where you're going to get a lot of, most of your characters, honestly, are going to probably come from this right here, this whole hero rescue process that I just showed you. Other things you're going to find here are chests. Now, chests you're going to open up with these hammers, and the way to get hammers is making sure you complete daily challenges, complete water rooms, defeat dark enemies, the complete rooms. So you're going to get a lot of hammers just by playing the game every single day in your daily quest, and you're going to want to try to sometimes unlock these chests. Let's just do a level resource. So you can click on the chest, and with your hammers you're able to get a variety of resources. We got some lock picks right there, we got some gems, more lockpicks, and you can just keep clicking to quickly knock them all out. I've been getting a lot of hammers in this game, so make sure you're unlocking as many of these. Even look at this chest right here is going to be granting hammers. So every one hammer I'm spending, I'm getting some multiples. That was only a one hammer right there, but you're gonna get two right there. So the whole point is, don't ignore your quest, because this is where you're gonna get a lot of your resources as a free-to-play player, and your characters, daily quests. This is what you're gonna want to be looking for. Now let's kind of focus more on this, the hero part of it, the team building and strategy before you enter battles. I think this is probably gonna be the core of the video right here. You want to try to build a nice diverse inventory of a couple decently geared up or leveled up characters for the variety of elements you're going to have in this game. We're going to talk about element strategy in a second here, but the tip I have here is make sure you have like 1 to 3 dark characters leveled up. Make sure you have 1 to 3 fire characters, 1 to 3 water characters, because you're not going to use the same lineup for every single battle you're going to walk into. Sometimes you're going to want to have more dark characters. Sometimes you're going to want to have more fire-based characters. So having a nice variety of characters is going to be kind of important here. And following up on that tip, how do you know what characters to kind of level up? Well, I have a video coming out soon, the top 10 best beginner players or characters to farm, but there's other ways of checking it out. When you're looking at a character, one thing you can do is when you look at a character, you get this community rating right here. This is a quick way of trying to assess how viable a character is. And really, you want to try to level up characters that are considered to be great or best in class. And you're going to get a lot of those free to play. Really, basically all this inventory is just me playing free to play in the game and just playing all the battles. So that's kind of your tip. If you don't know what to level up, look at these stats right here and see if they're going to be a good character to invest some time in. You want to understand what do these elements actually mean. And again, you're going to click on the settings and look here. Now, it may seem kind of basic for those that play Pokemon. It actually is a very oversimplified of the Pokemon system, except you don't have other things like Steel, Ghost type, and all that, Psychic, yada, yada, yada. It's a much more straightforward process. Grass characters are better than water characters. Water characters are better than fire characters. Fire characters are better than grass characters. And light and dark, they're both weak and strong to one another. So this is kind of the core of what you're going to want to do, because sometimes people are going into battles saying, why am I not doing enough damage? And this is probably why. If you're trying to do water attacks up against grass, you're not going to do much damage, Chief. Same thing, grass against fire, good luck. You want to make sure you understand this, because soon I'm going to show you how you know what elements to put together before you walk into battle. Let me just explain that point actually right now. When you hop into a battle, you're going to see up in this top left-hand corner the element that you're about to go in against. What this means is that primarily all the characters you're going to be fighting, the enemies, they're going to be this element right here. And right here, we're seeing that we're going to be going up against mostly dark elemental characters in this battle. So that's kind of very important. So that way you're not going in with, let's say, full water characters or full light characters. You want to try to make sure you're preparing for the element you're about to go into. Now, the next tip kind of flows perfectly into that. Well, let's say you know that you're going into a dark elemental battle primarily. What characters should you be bringing in? The easiest way, I think, to honestly help beginner players for a while is by using the Hero Helper. It's actually a fantastic tool because it tells you the current team you're running, and then it says, we suggest maybe moving to something like this down below. So what I would do is I would switch my team to this right here. So you would go ahead and switch. For the most part, it gets it very right by recommending the proper lineup you're going to want to bring into battle. And now that we have our team, I think I want to kind of bring up this next tip in terms of character positioning. Now, you might be just throwing characters on randomly, and you kind of maybe want to rethink that, because character positioning is extremely important in this game. Mainly what I'm trying to get at is that the front line protects the back line. In order to attack Razor, they're going to have to get through Sir Lancelot. And you want to basically have characters in the front line that are tanky, high health pool, and that's exactly what Sir Lancelot is. Has high HP, has some extremely high defense in this game. So that means he's going to be taking up a lot of punches. And besides looking at stats, you also want to look at the kits of the characters, well, to kind of determine who you want in the front and who you want in the back. As a general rule, you're going to want the frail, high damage glass cannon characters in the back. As you see, night and day difference in terms of health pool and defense. We barely have like 10% of the defense that Sir Lancelot had, but she has much more of a higher attack. So durable, tanky characters, tanks and knights and frontline characters are meant to be in the front line. And in the back, you're going to want these more fragile, high damage dealing characters such as Razor and Silent Blade. And now the very last tip. I think this is a great tip for beginners, because let's be honest, this game is definitely a bit more complicated than your typical hero collector game like Marvel Strike Force, Galaxy of Heroes, Raid Shadow Legends. It's a lot more different, and the map is not linear like your normal campaign missions you have in those games that I just mentioned. So if you're someone lost and you don't know where to go next, literally just click on the play button and it's going to take you to a space that you should be ready to tackle. Because sometimes if you're trying to follow the path, you're gonna be like, oh, this is too high of a level, I don't know where the next viable area for me to go to is. And when you just click on play, it takes you to the next thing. You're ready right away. I'm going to click on Hero Helper because as you see, we're going up against primarily light characters. So let's do Hero Helper, and it's probably going to recommend some dark characters. As you see, we're throwing in this guy right here, another dark character. We're going to switch it on over. It's going to say, hey, let's level up a little bit. Let's go ahead and upgrade. And the goal of all these tips that I'm giving you is you want to get to a point where you can easily auto this battle, because there's a lot of campaign missions going. And if you play each and every one individually, yeah, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes there's going to be battles that require 300 plus turns because the battles get really in depth, really complicated. There's going to be a lot of rooms. The goal of all of I'm telling you today is you create a team so that way you can auto most of the battles, collect it and farm your resources, build up your team. So when you do get to those battles where you really have to play on manual, you're good to go. So the goal of all this, is to be able to auto your battle. I guess that's kind of the last bonus tip, is that you really want to be autoing most of your battles to farm as fast as possible to prepare for those more end game, more difficult battles you're going to try to accomplish. So that's going to wrap it up for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching, supporting the channel, and thanks once more to Epic Games for sponsoring today's episode. Trust me, it really does help support my law school expenses and all that. And I am enjoying the game, even though these are sponsored episodes. I gotta say, I am enjoying the game as a side project from all the other games I'm playing. Like if you did enjoy the video, comment down below on your thoughts. If you have any other questions, I'll try my best to answer them. And be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And I'll talk to all of you lovely people in the next video. Peace out, everyone.